Hello, welcome to JAV Show. This is Jorge.
And this is Viv.
And we're back.
Hello, guys.
I want to say one thing right from the beginning. My parents are now stuck in Toronto.
Oh my god, this happened to a friend of mine today. I was literally checking our group chat and he was like, guys, I can't hang out this weekend. And they're like, why? And he's like, I'm still stuck in Montreal.
That's so bad.
And Air Canada canceled its flight.
Yeah.
And the next time he can come back is the 20th.
Wait, like they rebooked him?
No, like they're not rebooking him.
Yeah.
And so he's going off of WestJet, and the only WestJet flight that was available the soonest is the 20th.
How much is that?
I don't know.
Because like for my parents, they can come back a bit earlier, but it would cost them like $1,000 each.
That's crazy.
To fly one way back from Toronto to Edmonton.
That's fucking crazy.
It's insane right now. So then, okay, so my parents are in a bit of a better situation because they went there, so they left last Saturday. They're supposed to come back on Sunday, but they're both retired and they have nothing else to do. So and then they have family there too. Like they're staying with family.
Oh, that's
so I told them, like, you know what, you guys might have to stay another week because I could book you another flight back, but I don't think you want to pay $1,000.
Yeah.
And most flights I can book are all like only refundable within the first 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, there's a chance, maybe low, that you might actually fly on Sunday. But if not, there's a chance you might fly like Monday or Tuesday if Air Canada are back in operation, right? And then I was like, if not, I'll book you a flight like later in the week. But right now, if I try to book you one, it's gonna be expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was an opportunity that I could have booked earlier. Like if I booked it on Wednesday or Thursday, it would have been like, no, maybe Wednesday. It was like $300 some per person.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I have no idea if it's actually going to go on strike or not, right? Like until they give you the refund, then you have to assume that you still, because like if I bought them a ticket and all of a sudden they're like, oh, we're flying on Sunday, then I'm like, well, that ticket's completely wasted now. So I was like, I guess you guys can just wait since you have nothing else to do. Like if they had work, that'd be different, right? But I was like, you guys literally have nothing to do, so you might as well just stay there a couple more days.
It's not too bad.
Yeah.
Especially for the fact that they're also staying with family.
Yeah. So they have somewhere to stay and they have people to stay with. So it's not that. I was actually debating too. I was like, maybe I should just rent you a car and you guys can just take like 5 days to drive back.
That's fucking exhausting.
But then, it's not too bad. It's like 8 hour driving a day.
Probably, if I was in their shoes, I would rather just wait.
Yeah. I mean, my dad likes road trips, so I don't think he'd be completely against it. But I actually don't think it'd be any cheaper than flying.
Yeah.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah. My friend's there on a work trip, like a work conference.
Oh.
And so technically work has to reimburse him, or not reimburse him, has to pay for the flight.
Yeah, work's going to cover it.
And the next soonest available flight was on Sunday, but that one was over $2,000. And work was like, yeah, we'd rather pay for you to work out there than pay for that flight. And plus that flight, for some reason, it was like 17 hours or something like that.
I'm surprised that's...
with delays in between.
I'm surprised that's like the next available.
Yeah.
Because like I've checked and Toronto and Ottawa still have flights. It's just expensive, but they still have flights coming out.
Mm-hmm. So it was for him either Sunday or the 20th. And so his work decided on the 20th and they're just paying for his hotel and everything. But the part that sucks is that he was already at the airport and he already checked in and checked his luggage in and they won't give him back his luggage to check back out.
Why?
I don't know. He just said like they're just chaotic and they just won't let him. And he's been having troubles getting his bag back from the check-in.
Sounds like he just got robbed.
Maybe. I don't know.
That sounds exactly... Because, I mean, I've had that flight canceled before.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they canceled, they gave us all our bags right away.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, here, take it all and go home. I was like, okay.
Even the checked-in ones?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, as soon as my flight got canceled, they're like, go get your bag from, like, the carousel downstairs and go figure out your flight after. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, that would make sense. But yeah, he said that he doesn't have his bag right now, and he just went to check back into a hotel, and he's like, I have fucking nothing.
Oh, well, I'm actually so surprised they didn't just, as soon as they cancel the flight, normally they just like, here's all your stuff.
I don't know.
That's weird.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. So my parents are stuck for a bit. I was like, damn, I got to figure out if there's anything important, but I don't think there is. I think the only thing they have to do is they have to drive my niece to daycare, but I'll just do that for them.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, it's not too bad. I can cover everything else for you guys while you guys are gone. So they just have forced extended vacation. I mean, I'd be quite pissed if I was like, if I had to work, I'd be like, fuck. I have to figure something out ASAP, right?
Yeah, I would be really upset too.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just checking my parents' like, because they're coming back from their vacation soon, but they're with WestJet, so
yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, that's crazy. I feel like, I don't know. What do you think about it? So, like, from what I know, from what I was told, the argument was they don't get paid for their standby time or their, like, boarding and deboarding time.
Yeah, they don't.
Which I agree is unfair. But, I'm going to put the but there. I don't know how much they actually get paid. So,
they get paid less than minimum wage. Or minimum wage, it was something like that. Which is insane.
Yeah, that is insane. But then it also depends, like...
I think it was like $13, if that's minimum wage or not, I don't know.
Yeah, but... Okay, so the only thing I have a slight problem with is because it's very easy for them, like the union for the flight attendants to say like, yeah, they're treating us badly and here's all the stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm almost certain, like, I would do the same if I was them. I would take worst case scenario and I would say like, hey, look at this, we're getting paid less than minimum wage, but they're taking like worst case scenario, right? That being said, I know there are some really good case scenarios where they're getting paid quite a bit of money, right? And there's like this variability. And like, it sucks because in North America, being a flight attendant is not very like well respected. It's considered like just a whatever job, right?
Holy shit.
What?
The average Air Canada staff gets paid $34,000 $34K.
Staff or flight attendant? Because this is only flight. This thing's only related to flight attendant right now.
Yeah, flight attendant.
Flight attendant gets 34. Yeah, that's pretty low.
Fucking insane.
But I don't know. Like the expectations are also kind of down there too. You know what I mean? Like when you walk into a Singapore airline flight, they give you the best service because the expectations are super high, and they also put a lot of money to train their people.
Yeah,
like they
Emirates.
Yeah, like they put so much money into training their people and making sure it's like top-notch service, right? It's almost like they had to go to school just to become a flight attendant, whereas here it's almost like go apply, and just don't look like shit, and you'll become a flight attendant, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if that was the same, if the expectations were the same, then I would agree that for sure, 100%, they need more pay, right? I still think
degree, I think they still deserve like probably like 60.
Yeah, well, that's tough to say. That's actually not. I'm not sure about that number now.
Well, what would you say?
Well, because okay, if you think about it, the median household average in Alberta is 100K. So that means each partner, on average, would make
for
50K
a dual
each.
income.
Yeah, a median
50
median household income in Alberta is $100,000 median.
Yes.
Right. So that means, are you saying that the flight attendant should be paid more than 2 teachers combined? Or not combined, but 2, like individually, 2 a teacher. If it's median, that's like 50K each on average or something like that. That is what I consider like maybe an average job that would make around median income, right?
Oh my goodness.
So then if you think about that way, you're like, okay, well, maybe not that much, right? So there's like a like middle
45,
balance
50?
point. I have no idea what the number is. But also, it's like, it's tough because at the end of the day, what Air Canada's just going to do, like this is all just going to go back to the customers. All of this. All the losses they get is just gonna get shot back down to the customer. Any wage increase the flight attendants get, all that money, it's just gonna go straight to the customer.
Yeah.
So it's like fuck. Like at the end of the day, all these strike situations that we've heard over the last 2 years, I feel like it always hits bottom line for the customer, and then that's what, in my opinion, drastically increases the affordability issue, and then just everything's not affordable anymore because you have to pay some people who maybe not deservingly much higher salary because we expect everyone to get X amount because of virtuism, right? Where in reality it should be like, okay, it's based off merit and stuff like that, right? Or it should be based off merit. Which is why I'm saying it sucks, because it sucks for the flight attendants here because they don't have the same expectation like in Asia. In Asia, it's like you had to go to school for that stuff. So then if they ever go on strike, people will be like, oh yeah, they deserve that because they went through school and they did all this training. They're professionals almost, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like here we treat them like cashiers, sellers, you know what I mean? Or something like that. That's so it kind of sucks. It's like, yes, I agree, they should not get paid that little, But how much more should they get paid? I have no idea. But it's also really hard to justify, right? Because it's like the expectation of them is so low. It's like, yeah, I don't want to pay my cashier $30 an hour because I don't want everything to go like double in price all of a sudden, right?
That's true. And if it's also a simple flight back and forth, you technically don't really get serviced at all by your flight attendants. I'm not sure what they do on the flight.
Yeah.
Other than like hop on and,
Yeah,
get
like
you water if you ask for water.
yeah. Like I mean, at least North America, the service is like absolute garbage.
Yeah,
now.
it's just non-existent.
Yeah, so it's like the two things are colliding, right? Like the expectation has dropped the tank, right? It dropped the shit. It's just bad, and then now they want more money. And I do agree, like you should be able to make, let's say, close to median, maybe, when you're working like a full-time job like that. But I don't know what they're actually getting. So, but there's also the thing where it's like, is it on average you read or on median? Because there are flight attendants who do get paid more, right? So what do you say at that point, right?
That's true.
Because there's like a seniority. Well,
it's average.
I think that's the other issue too. Is like I think they have like a. This is just me hearing shit at work and all this stuff. Like I was told like they have a seniority thing, very similar to like many other public jobs, where it's like your pay is not necessarily merit based, but seniority based.
Oh yeah.
Right. So then you have all these fucking 10 years there, senior people who have shitty service and they still get
paid
like
stay at the job for a long time just because each year that they're there, they get more money.
Yeah. Like they racked up the system and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to say, but at least they're invoking their rights.
You can see it.
But I don't know. I don't actually completely understand all of it because I think Air Canada is saying something about like forced arbitration and all this stuff.
What does that mean?
Here, let me not embarrass myself. So like there's a mediator and an arbitrator. Those are two different things, right? And let me just search this up before I completely butcher this. A mediator and arbitrator lies in the role and power in resolving dispute. A mediator facilitates communication and helps the party reach their own agreement, while an arbitrator acts as a neutral third party who makes binding decision. Yes. Okay. So the mediator would come into the room with both of them and be like, all right, Air Canada, you're being unreasonable. You can't like do that. Or like, hey, union people, you are being super unreasonable. You can't do that either, right? And I feel like there might be some fine line in the middle there that they can reach, but definitely someone, I don't know which side is being very unreasonable, right? Like, I can see on both sides. So on Air Canada side, if you expect to pay these people double of what they're getting paid now, they're gonna be like, how the fuck do we run a business like that, right? All of a sudden we went from expense this much to 2x this much. Like, no way. There's no way we can actually run a real business. That being said, the union side would be like, dude, we're literally being paid below average than every other airline agent or every other flight attendant in North America, right? And that's also unfair too, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, they can't also expect to be like crazy amount of pay all of a sudden, right? Like there's no way they can actually run a business.
That's true.
And then the arbitrator would be like, all right, we got third party, they've been vetted, they have no ethics issue, they have no like special interests. They're gonna look at both sides and they're just gonna make a ruling and say this is it, and you guys have to both agree to it. But yeah, I mean it's tough. It's the same thing as the
postal
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, no one gives a shit about the postal thing, but yeah, the postal thing is the
people
same.
Also don't really do much either.
It's first of all, I personally if they find some type of document proving that Air Canada executives are being paid too much or it's like abuse of money and all that stuff, then I would side with the union. But if they can't find that, I would be like, dude, this company's going down. Like they're not making money. How do you want them to pay you more? Like the company itself is not making money, and unless like the executives are making a gross amount of money, and mind you, why would you want to be a Canada Post CEO if you can make that same money in any other company? So you still have to pay the CEO like a CEO, right? You can't like dog shit their pay that much, right? So it's like, unless it's ridiculous, I was like, they prove to the public that they're broke. So like, they can't pay you anymore. And you're not accepting alternatives, so it's like they can't do anything.
You're asking for something out of an empty barrel.
Yeah, exactly, right. So I mean, I'm not sure if that's the case for Air Canada. I highly doubt it. Unlike the Canada Post thing. The Canada Post thing, I feel like I sympathize a bit more with Canada Post because it's like it's known that they lose that much money. Now, why they lose that much money? Maybe there are like issues up top on the executive side, not making the right decisions and stuff, right? But if they didn't do anything ethically wrong and they're not overpaying their executive and like overhead team like a stupid amount, then it's like, I mean, people make mistakes. I know mistakes cost money and shit, but they didn't do anything ethically wrong. Like they weren't doing it with malintent.
That's true. It's just a flawed process that's finally reached its end.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they just have to do. I think for that one, when I was reading it, it was all about the Canada Post union people were unhappy that Canada Post wanted to hire like part-time workers because that'll take over some of their work and stuff. And Canada Post was saying like, dude, we can't keep up with Amazon and all these other companies if we don't have part-time workers. And if we pay you guys and we want you guys to work at nighttime, you guys have like a differential. We have to pay you more and all this stuff. Like it just doesn't work for the business. I was like, I mean, that's true. It is true. I get my packages pretty easily from Amazon. So
that is true.
And if you can't compete with them, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Right.
It does suck. I feel like this is kind of attuned to the recession that we're in and how everything's kind of leading to things costing more, people not being paid enough. Richer gets richer, poorer gets poorer in the division. And the separation between everyone is just going greater and greater and greater. Yeah. I think it's either going to pop or technology is going to advance and come in and take all the jobs. And then it's still going to be fucked. I mean, but there's going to be a whole new system that has to come into play when like not many people are required to work anymore. I feel like the technology taking over a job is like a slow or maybe like a step process. Either a slow process or a step process. It's not going to be like immediately. It's going to be like how when you go into McDonald's, you used to have to order right at the till. Now everyone orders off of a kiosk. And then the same thing with when you go to this place or that place. Every place is starting to automate things and replace staff with some robots in the factories, in the car washes, wherever you go. It's slow. Well, it's not slow. I think it's just it's in like a step process. Like if you look at a graph, it just goes up in steps at a time, and it's just gonna like do one thing. And when we see that, we're like, all right, whatever, it is what it is, right? It's like, in my opinion, no one has sympathy for cashiers, and their jobs have definitely be like, maybe not all their jobs, but definitely half their jobs at least. Yeah. Like every store you go to has like most of the cashier places are empty because you can just scan your own too. Yeah. Like I think for me the biggest thing was when Uniqlo did it. I feel as soon as Uniqlo did it, it's like holy shit. Like they did it and there's no real big issues anymore. And they like people didn't have issues scanning because they did the whole put it in the box and then you take it like put it in the box and then the thing will know exactly what you bought. Yeah. I think that was what Amazon was trying to do with their grocery stores. Yeah. But it's crazy because imagine if this is the technology that we're getting right now. Imagine if you're on the other side of the world in Asia or even Europe, how much more advanced things are probably. Yeah. Because I think I went to Europe like a decade ago and they already had that in the stores. What Uniqlo has. But then we just saw that at Uniqlo within the last couple years. Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised that they didn't see that as a problem here, especially because our labor is so expensive here relative to them. Like I thought that would be like the first thing they would try to implement. Like in Asia, it's like the whole vending machine, right? Vending machine's very popular there. Everything's automated there. Yeah. I'm surprised. Okay, I'm partly surprised that we don't want to do that as much here because our labor is so expensive. Partly not surprised because I feel like here people are a lot more disrespectful. I was gonna say so they're gonna like fucking break that stuff or steal that stuff. Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that. But yeah, definitely some of these stuff are definitely going away. I mean, like even this last year, the role of junior developer I feel like is gone. Oh, there's no such thing as a junior developer now, right? So it's like that's completely gone. I felt really happy that I like successfully switched out of being a developer. I'm sure if I continued and I went up into being a senior developer or I don't know what else is higher. I became a team lead for my developer team, which I think is a pretty good position. But then I kind of just feel like if AI can replace a junior developer now, it's almost about within like a short amount of time that it's gonna replace a senior developer too, and then you just have to have somebody who's a generalist scan over your code, but then also work on like 20 other things at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, okay, let's just think of all the jobs that they're going to get rid of, right? So, like, we talked about this in the past. Law, they're going to get rid of any junior elite law people. Like, honestly, if you had one lawyer, maybe like 2 or 3 paralegals, and then all AI after that, I think you're like pretty Gucci from there.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one that might be debatable. I thought, and maybe because I don't understand this profession enough, but I thought accounting would be pretty good for AI.
That's what I would have thought.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's just numbers, right?
That's what I think too, right? It's numbers, and then you just need someone to see if the things are weird or don't add up.
Yeah.
Stuff. But even AI is pretty good at that. You know what I mean?
I would say so. I think the one thing that AI possibly can't help is that AI follows rules.
Yeah.
And if you have a really, really good accountant, sure, they may follow the rules, but their job is to find the loopholes. And can AI, I'm sure, can do that, but will it, you know?
So, again, maybe because I don't understand the job or role of accountant completely, I feel like, not most, but like the more basic version of the accountant, let's say a junior accountant, I actually don't know what the fuck this is. I assume they're
like a level 1 CPA.
Sure, they're mostly doing the fucking checks and balances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's like AI work, in my opinion, right?
I think so.
And I assume when you get to a more senior level, that's when you do the loophole shit, right?
Yeah.
Is because you understand the basics so well that you can figure out the loopholes really well. But now you could go from, you know, school to AI to fucking senior, because that junior step of the checks and balances, I assume would have been super easy. But maybe I'm wrong on that.
But then the part that's kind of fucked is that if you don't have a junior role, how are you gonna get to the mid-level role and then a senior role?
Yeah. That's fucked. It's all, well, it's not just that. It's like, it's not that they don't have junior roles. Is that now they can be so picky with their junior roles.
Mm-hmm.
They can be like, we only need 1 or 2 of you.
Yeah.
Right? Because we got AI for the rest of the stuff. Your goal isn't actually to learn what the AI is going to do. Your goal is to like learn the new shit. Like, you just have to understand what and why we want AI to do this. And then you just have to go through the more difficult stuff afterwards.
Yeah. You have to train like a senior before you're paid like a senior.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So I always thought that would be one, but I haven't heard any issues with that, in my opinion. So I was like, okay.
I think for that, it's probably because it's really privatized and you're working with really sensitive data.
Okay, yeah.
And there's
not
a lot of...
I think that's a bad excuse.
Really?
Because it's like, dude, they fucking leak our information all the time in every fucking private company that's supposed to hold our information well. So it's like, they're not doing anything different. Then fuck it, just let them actually develop the AI for it, or the agent for it, at least.
But then who's willing to give up their data first if you're talking about companies and...
I don't think...
people who are trying to not pay any taxes?
I don't think the question right now is who's willing to. I think is who already did and is going to fuck up on their cybersecurity. Because I think they all already did. It's just that some of them have their cybersecurity fucked up or not.
That's true.
Or they might be more conservative on what they're putting into it.
That's true.
So that's why the development might be a bit slower. That I can kind of see. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I do think accounting, I do think like people in payroll.
Oh yeah. I don't fucking understand why that's a whole entire job.
Yeah. For the longest time, there's a whole role called like the payroll coordinator, or the payroll guy, or
administrator or some shit. There's so much you can automate, not even just this year with this year's technology, last year or the year before. There's so much that you can automatically just do. Yeah. Except people don't want to pay for a program that does it for them. Instead, they want to pay somebody to go in Excel and just punch.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Such a waste of time.
I mean, the other thing I do see too is
it's like $50 a month too, I swear.
Yeah. So I don't know where you work at if they have this, but the big companies that I've all worked at, they have something called like project controls, right? So people who specialize in project schedule and cost control and all that other stuff like that, right?
No, I don't have that.
But in my opinion, a lot of that work is super easy. It's not super easy, but it's very straightforward. They have very like set rules of what they have to do, and they just have to do it. And that's the shit I'm doing right now. Is I'm automating their portion of their job. Right? And I feel like that's kind of good, because if companies are willing to do that, it's actually not that it's not the fact that there won't be that job anymore. It's just that there won't be any more of that job. Like the people who are working now and understand the system now and willing to work with the new system, they're just gonna look over more accounts and projects and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when they're saying, "Oh, we are a growing company," they'll be like, "All right, well, we don't have to hire for this one division because they have automation." Right? I think that's how they're gonna cheap out a bit on that and be like,
Oh, for sure.
"Yeah, they're fine. Like this person can watch over 5 projects instead of doing 2 before because all their reporting is automated now. They just have to look for issues when there is issues, and that's it."
Yeah. And even that role could even get taken over eventually because it's like, okay, if there's an issue, what are the basic steps of what's the basic process that you go through when you find an issue? You define it as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then if it's one of those, you go to the next step, the next step. Just as a human would, you could probably create there's probably an agentic AI that's going to solve that for you eventually or even now.
Yeah. Okay, so I wonder what else there is. So I know some jobs are still kind of required. So like, I think in the food industry, it's really hard still.
Oh yeah.
Like
that would requires a lot of hardware, right?
Yeah, and then I mean, you could make a machine to make automatic bubble tea or something like that, but I still feel like that's not. I don't know. It just feels.
I can see for some bubble teas, depending on what kind of bubble tea store you are.
But I think the issue is the amount they need to invest to get that working. Yeah. Compared to paying like a 14-year-old to work there.
Yeah, 14-year-old basic.
Yeah, it's just like they're never willing to do that, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like sometimes people complain like, "Oh, you work this job and like they can't make a living," and sometimes that sucks. But sometimes it's like, dude, that's like a job for teenagers.
Yeah,
right? Like it's not supposed to be for an adult making a living with that job. You're supposed to like upgrade your skill and knowledge in some way to get a different or a more higher level of that job.
Yeah, it's
but
not supposed to be a career. It's not something you make a career out of, or not something that you're supposed to be dependent on.
Yeah,
feeding your life and your family with.
Because if a teenager could work full time and make enough to like live, then be like, what's the point of going to school? Like to them, like there's literally no more point of going to school, right? What do they want to do? They just want to live their life and stuff. Like, well, they can do it just working a shitty ass teenager job, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I know like. I think I'm probably more biased than a lot of our friends on this, but I'm like, I don't think everyone should get paid that much, and it really depends on skill and level and stuff. Because I know like a lot of, especially Asian people, they're like more like sympathetic to the workers and stuff. I don't know why. I don't understand completely. Because sometimes I'm just like, no, like I don't want to pay more for the stuff, and if you want to pay that worker more, I'm gonna have to pay more for this stuff.
That's true,
right? And it's like, in my opinion, not very fair.
Yeah.
So that's how I think about it sometimes. But what else can be automated or what can't be automated? So like a chef, I think is very, very hard. You could probably automate certain processes, but I think at the end of the day, it's not the same maybe. I was going to say like deboning a fish, maybe there's some way to automate that, but the actual...
Maybe if you have a whole scanning machine that's like, okay, I see your fucking bones. I have an x-ray right here. I can see all the bones. Let me use a hand and arm to come in and pick them all out. But I feel like for that, it's also... The entry is a lot of money to get that in. Yeah. Overpaying just a regular chef to do so.
It has to be the situation where the technology got developed in some other way and it got transferred over. It's kind of like how, and it's still not super popular yet, but how when the Google Glass first came out, it was like dog shit and no one cared for it. But all these little advancement everywhere else, and all of a sudden, it's not the Google Glass anymore, but like VR was essentially what Google Glass kind of was.
Yeah.
And then all these other technology, like I think in China, they're using something like the Google Glasses and stuff, and it's actually doing really well there. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's like a combination of things have to come together, but at first it's kind of shit. So like that idea is, in my opinion, actually super cool. If you had some type of like non-dangerous X-ray thing to like debone something, that'd be super cool because yes, at first it'll suck, but maybe instead of a robot doing it, you see like again, it goes back to like low pay labor, but a low pay labor, someone just looks at the scan and be like, all right, the bones are all here. And then they just go grab it. Or there's a live scan or something and they just go and grab it all. And then they're done with that fish or something like that. I'd be like, I don't know. That's pretty cool.
I don't think dentistry can be replaced at the moment. People would be too scared to have something, such a sensitive procedure be fully automized by a robot.
Yeah. I actually, not completely similar to that, but I've seen machines that like do your nails. But
I think
even
they
then,
look
that's
like
kind of
shit.
scary. Yeah, it's kind of it's also kind of scary, right? I don't know. It's like one wrong move and you're fucking.
That's true because they're working with nail files and cutters and things.
Yeah. Well, I think the machine mainly just paints it, so you can paint whatever design you want, and it's kind of cool because you could get really granular in your design. Girls care about that on their nails. But then the other part, like or like a masseuse. A masseuse can't really be, or I don't think people want to be.
Yeah, because what if the machine gives too much pressure and just fucking cracks your bones?
Yeah, right. Like it's so sensitive to that stuff, and then because it's so sensitive, maybe it's not going to give enough pressure. Like it's the machine software is so sensitive that they always have like a safe limit that's too safe, and then you'll never feel the pressure that you need.
That's true.
Right. So I think that's another one that
chiropractor too. Then
I mean that's a fake profession.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't believe in chiropractic, whatever that is. Lifeguard.
Yeah.
You can automate parts of a lifeguard job. Like say a giant beach, maybe you need like instead of 10 lifeguards, you need 3 and tools. But you can't ever really get rid of the lifeguard itself. Right?
You have to be really fucking dependent on its scanning system.
Yeah.
And like imagine if it fails one time, then it's off.
Someone's dead and then no one's going to buy it again.
Yeah, no one's ever going to buy it again. No one's ever going to rely on it again.
Yeah.
Because most of the time when people drown, it doesn't really look like someone's drowning, you know?
Yeah. Or like you get too many false positives.
Unless, oh yeah, that's true.
They're just pulling people on. I'm just playing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to hold my breath underwater.
Shoot them with a trank dart or something. So they don't thrash. The machine goes and grabs them. That'd be crazy. Yeah.
Doctor, obviously. Anything medical, I feel like is off.
Yeah.
Maybe a pharmacist you can replace.
Honestly, I think you could replace that.
No? Yeah, because I'm like, if you're, I forgot what the word is called, but if you're in the type of pharmacy where they actually make the medicine, they mix it and everything.
Yeah.
I think even that you can automate.
Yeah, I think
you just need the grams, the number, the stuff, how much. You can easily mix it by yourself.
I think it might go through like evolution, maybe, where it's like, and this sounds bad because I know a lot of people don't like this, and I don't completely like it, but I see the profit in it. But maybe all doctors send your prescription to like a centralized pharmacy place where they have the robots doing most of the work, but a couple pharmacists like looking over the stuff.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
I mean? Like your prescription goes straight to the pharmacist in a centralized like pharmacy factory or something
Pharmacist
like that.
just plugs it in.
And then the pharmacy just looks at it and be like, okay, yeah, these are all safe doses or appropriate for the symptom. And then they just say yes. And then the robot sends it off. Amazon sends it to your house.
Yeah, that's
Something
true.
like
That would be crazy.
I feel like that's the potential evolution of it.
If somebody from Amazon is listening to this podcast right now, they literally just stole your idea.
Well, it's
on its way.
I think who is it? Is it who's the guy who used to own the Dallas Mavericks?
Oh,
you know who I'm talking about?
From Shark Tank.
Yeah. I think he's still a part owner. Okay, let's see. Shark Tank cast. Oh, Mark Cuban.
Yes.
Mark Cuban cost plus drugs. I mean, he's already not completely revolutionary, but he has the cost plus drugs things.
Oh yeah.
Where it's whatever your drug is, he sells it to you at cost plus profit of whatever percent, right?
Yes.
And then apparently it's making quite a bit of money.
It is.
Is what I was told. And I was like, dude, that's sick. But like the only way this model works is if you have a centralized pharmacy. Like you can't have all these small little pharmacies competing with each other with prices and shit. You just have a centralized one and be like, I don't care who you are. I don't like, the only thing I care is that you have like a public health number, a prescription. This is the price you have to pay. This is the price we paid.
Yeah.
Right. And then that's it. And I was like, the reason we can get it for cheap is because of like the amount of people.
Wholesale and the amount of
the purchasing power and all that stuff. Right. I think that's definitely an evolution in pharmacy because other than that, like I know some pharmacists now can do injections and stuff, but it's like, okay, fine, just fucking hire some nurses instead of you and just get them to do it all, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks because we have some pharmacy friends and I'm just like, to be honest, maybe not in your lifetime, but your profession might have
in your
some.
lifetime, to be honest.
Possibly, yes.
I think technology grows rapidly and really fast and exponentially.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to see what's coming.
The crazy thing is the next time a crazy song or book or movies made from AI, then all that medium is really weird now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because
or it'll be indistinguishable from reality and something that like humans make.
what do you mean? Like it'll look like human made it, right?
Yes.
Well, that's the problem. Like if I was a movie producer or an actor or a singer or a
Oh,
writer,
yeah.
I'd be like, fuck this is not right, etc., etc., etc.
I spend so much time working on my
Yeah.
craft, and now somebody can just manipulate my emotions through some software and create a movie with me.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right. Like if I was them, I'd be fighting the fuck out of this, but it's coming.
Yeah.
It's definitely coming because people will just be like, take this person's artwork and make me this painting. Right. And they'll just do it.
Yeah. A baseline for how fast and how qualitative generative AI has become is this video of Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Oh, it's super.
And if you watched the video and what AI could produce
Yeah.
a few years ago, it was obviously fucked. Like his arm was going this way, spaghetti was going through his face,
Yeah.
his eyes were looking weird. It looked like some cut up magazine face that was put together.
Yeah.
But then now if you look at it, it just needs like I feel like the lighting is a little bit weird. Maybe some of the blurring is a little weird, but otherwise it looks pretty fucking realistic now.
Oh, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
It's crazy too because I know in some cases people are like, oh, we can check the metadata to see if it's fake or not. But like, dude,
Are you going to do that for everything?
but if you can check the metadata to see if it's fake or not, what's stopping AI from checking the metadata and then changing that to make it look like it's real now?
Exactly.
Right. So it's like, if we can check it, they can probably check it too.
Mhm.
Right. So I was like, oh man, it's so iffy now because it's like, what do you know what's real and what's not anymore at that point?
That's true. It's like people who write essays for school
Oh yeah.
and
That's
how they
fucked.
use ChatGPT or any generative AI.
Yeah.
And before, they would use it, copy the whole thing, paste it, your homework's done.
Yeah.
Your project's done. But then now schools are like, oh yeah, we have this thing that can check whether you copy and pasted this from an AI or whether this was created from an AI. Okay, that makes sense because when you have generative text, for example, there's microspaces, there's N hyphens that are put in, all these extra things that are obvious because humans normally don't put that in their text. But then now you have like third-party software, third-party generative AI integrations that you could use to change the text that, say, ChatGPT makes for you that looks obviously like AI did it for you.
Yeah.
You plug it into this next thing. The next thing's going to take out everything and make it look like a human just typed it. And then you copy that and put it into your school thing and no one's going to know.
I mean, that also begs the question for like plagiarism because it's like I have to, if I'm writing a scientific paper, I have to reference other scientific paper, right?
Mhm.
So what's stopping me from telling AI is like, hey, I need to reference the scientific paper and I need to reference, like, I want to take information from this paragraph, write it differently,
Mhm.
and reference the scientific paper. Technically, it's not plagiarism anymore because
It's
you're
not.
not copying word for word and you're citing them. You're saying like, hey, this is the information I got from this, but I just didn't write any of this.
I would say
just
that's
got-
completely different from plagiarism because that's what you would do if you were
yeah, it's just
researching.
it's just I did it myself instead
Yeah.
of AI doing it, right? Yeah. So it's like, it just begs the question of how far can you go now, right?
I think I would imagine this is probably something that happened when computers came into play, or maybe even more simpler, like calculators came into play.
Yeah.
People would debate like, oh, how do you even know how to divide by long numbers, or how are you going to figure out this and this and this? And then now it's like, oh, why wouldn't you just use that? It's more simpler.
Yeah, that's true.
It's probably because we're not used to being so reliant on AI and having it integrated into our lives to this degree that we're like, oh no, what about this? What about this? That's not fair with this. This isn't right. But I'm sure in maybe 5 years, 10 years for sure,
Yeah.
we'll be like, why not? It makes it so much more easier. We can spend our brain energy focusing on soft skills and other things that we actually need to. All the things that are quote unquote grunt work for our brains are repetitive.
Yeah.
Just get some sort of AI to do it. And I think a skill that'll be very important in the next few years, other than like the soft skills that I guess AI can't really produce well, is discernment.
Between
Discernment in knowing like, oh, I have all these tools. I have AI that can do a lot of things for me. I need to know how to tell what's quality, what's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what do I mean? Did you just get a discernment agent?
Oh my god. Fucking nuts.
A discernment AI agent?
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be quite interesting, but I
think that's a soft skill that's hard to get.
Yeah, I think so too. Like sifting through the bullshit, I think is very important. But the path, for example, you and I, or maybe people in the past have taken to sift through bullshit is through learning through successes and failures now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now just imagine people may be able to go through that process, but a lot faster now.
That's true.
Whereas like they can summarize the stuff you've learned already and pass it on and then keep summarizing that and keep, like have those notes already.
Is that the best way to learn though?
I don't know if that's the best. I feel like definitely the gain of knowledge, there's some point where we're missing, right? So it's like, for example, if you and I sat down from a very young age and we want to learn all the math in the world, take a long fucking time. Take a long fucking time, right? There's somewhere between that we can shorten this process, right? And part of it is using AI agents, but part of it is like a Neuralink thing where it's like some way of injecting factual ideas rather than just learning everything.
Yeah.
Because it's like the only way we can get better at certain things is knowing a lot about what's already there. And like a subject so deep, like math or something like that, to get to the point where you have all that depth, you're already like 40 years old, right? And then at that time, you only have at most 20 years of new development, at most, right? So then it's like, we need to shorten that in order to keep advancing, if that's the goal.
That's true.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, definitely the AI part will help in understanding things a bit better and easier. Like if I had the tools now when I was going through school, dude, I would understand so many concepts so much easier. Because back then, like Google was okay, but it was still kind of shit to understand stuff. So you had to like find forums where people will like explain certain school concepts or like physics concepts and things like that. But now I feel like I can just throw it in AI, get as many examples as I can until I understand it.
That's true. That's very true. I was going to argue that a part of the process in learning some things is making mistakes and having to go through the process of really taking apart a problem and figuring it out for yourself. But that's true. You can also ask AI to explain it in however many different ways until it literally just clicks. I mean, and even that process might be quicker.
Even how you explain it just now, like I've personally done it before, where it's like there's a concept I want to learn, and then I go to AI, like ChatGPT. I'm like, all right, let's break it down. Let's go from the beginning, like the physics beginning of this. Like, how does this work in the very, very beginning? And they'll like draw you a steps of how this works and stuff like that, right? And then you just keep inputting your opinion, and they'll correct it and make it like, you know what I mean, like guide it to the right path of understanding that topic. And then at the end of the day, you're like, all right, I think I understand this now because I went through the whole step. It's like having your own teacher now, like all the time, right? Because I would ask it, like for example, with my car, I was like, I need to know specifically in this car, how does this, air intake system work, right? And it'll go through all the parts, all the steps. The only thing it's missing is that it has not ingested properly like the images of a manual, for example, like that, right? But if I had ChatGPT and I had the manual next to me, I could like look at it side by side and be like, holy shit, I understand this. Like this is so easy right now, right? But back then, like I bet some mechanics but I'll just do whatever the manual says because I don't completely understand it, right? But now I like within 15 minutes I can completely understand the system, and by understanding the system I understand why it's broken, right?
That's true.
So I feel like, I don't know, like for people who want to use it and are motivated to learn, I think it'll accelerate your learning like crazy.
Oh yeah, I think people also use AI too simply now. They don't really understand the depth of how it could assist you in day-to-day.
I mean, I feel like maybe even I don't understand the crazy depth of it too, to be honest. There's probably some crazy things that I could be doing that could advance even more.
Yeah.
The problem with me, like right now, the company I'm working at, for some reason the Copilot doesn't work on my computer anymore.
What the fuck?
But it works on my other work laptop. So I'm like, fuck you guys. So I have to use like both laptops when I'm working. Because I go to my other one.
Ask IT to fix it for you.
Dude, their IT is the worst. Their IT is the worst. I think they put something on my account because I didn't return the charger. I was like, dude, your office is so far. Just come and get it. Like you guys have cars. Just come and get the charger if you want the charger. And then one time the guy came, I was like, oh, hey, here's a charger I owe you. And he's like, oh, just put on that printer. I put on the printer, and then he left, and then I was about to leave work. I was like, dude, my charger's right there.
Yeah.
I was like, someone could have stole it, and I would have been even more trouble.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck these guys. These guys are assholes.
Yeah, what the hell? Let me ask the techs at work to see why that's an issue.
It just says coming soon all the time. But in my other company.
Are you logged in?
Yeah, I'm logged in. Yeah. I used to use the shit out of it. It was great, like for my like work stuff, whatever. Like the best part for me right now is I work with a lot of like oil and gas standards, codes and standards, right? So as soon as I have a problem, I'm like, tell me which code and in which paragraph can we resolve this problem, right? And then it'll bring me to it. And I'm not telling you to answer the problem I have, but it'll bring me to the code and I can read the code. I mean, I don't like that's the other thing too. Like there's some professional responsibility too, right? It's like if I'm gonna stamp this drawing, I have to at least understand what I'm doing, right?
Oh, yes.
So then I'll go to the code, I'll read it, and then I'll be like, okay, that part makes sense of why we can do it this way. And then say we want to accept an exemption to that code, right? Then I'll ask the AI, I'll be like, all right, when can we use exemptions to this code? Give me examples and show me where in the code does it show. Because a lot of the cases in the code, they always have case studies, and then they'll be like, refer to this case study to look at this. I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I was like, damn, that's sick. Because for me, if I had to learn all this stuff the old-fashioned way, it just takes so long to do anything, right? And now it's so much easier. Like, for example, in my work, we deal with a lot of different metals. So like SA182, SA whatever. It's pretty much all like these codes they use for these different metals, right? So for example, from experience right now, if you say, oh, what's A106? I was like, that's carbon steel. That's super simple, right? Because I use that a lot, right? But when you first start, you won't know that. But if you just throw it in, it'll just instantly tell you like chemical composition, all its like maximum, minimum values of its properties. I was like, this is fucking amazing.
That's pretty amazing.
Or if you don't trust that stuff, you can be like, okay, show me in the code where I can find this, and it'll tell you exactly which table it is. And within like 2 minutes, you're like, snip that picture and send it to the person and be like, this is this part you're looking for. Yeah. So I mean, it's helped me a lot. I can see why they may or may not need as much engineers. I think that's definitely another thing that could be, I wouldn't say like eliminated, but definitely reduced.
Yeah, I can see maybe your junior EITs to some degree.
Yeah, like I think what I would do if I was them is I would throw all the EITs into like more like laborious positions. Not like they're doing labor, but it's like they're with the workers, they see the work getting done, so then they understand the concepts and the struggles of the human side of the job.
Yeah. And
then when they have enough of that experience, I'll let them into like the design side, which is like will be more AI driven process afterwards, right? That's what I think, at least. I mean, it is true. Like in construction, that is a job that they have not used. In my opinion, they have not used AI and technology as well as they should have yet.
I can see. I feel like there's definitely opportunity in a lot of industries. They're just kind of slow to adopt.
They've lagged behind a lot. It's still a very like old boys club mentality.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like the most powerful people in those type of companies are just not good enough at adopting these things, and they just need like one Elon Musk to fuck their whole day up. You know what I mean? It's
find one Elon Musk.
I know, but it's like the whole car industry. Yeah, like Elon Musk might not be doing that great right now with Tesla, but you have to admit he disrupted the entire industry.
Oh,
right?
For sure.
Like whether what he created is going to be successful in the future or not, I can't tell the future or not. But definitely because of his insertion, all these companies had to like change their mentality.
Adopt.
Yeah, they had to be like, okay, no more old boys club, can't do it like this anymore. Got to like think more strategically and innovatively, right? I feel like it just takes one company in construction to really fuck things up and to be like, oh no, we're building things using like 3D printed concrete or like, you know, using more drones to like do our scans and all this other shit. Right?
100%.
Yeah, it just takes one. It's just like it hasn't been there yet because it sucks because the senior people, I feel like they're too dumb and not willing to learn, and then they have so much power that they can just force it to just be their way.
I mean, I can see it. Imagine if you're at the very top sitting on your big pile of money and your big cushy job. Are you going to change something that makes it easier for everyone if it potentially takes away your money or like shakes your foundation? No. People are selfish at their core.
Yeah, and it's sometimes the model of the business too. It's like the whole reason why I don't necessarily like regulated companies is because they essentially make cost plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is not good if you don't let them. It's not good if there's no challenge, because it's like if my company makes cost plus, I'm just gonna run up my costs like crazy, and I'll always make more money, right? And not all, but a lot of construction companies, that's how they operate, right? They'll bid a project and they'll bid it like they almost don't make any money, and then every change order after that, they're just gonna rake in the like that's how they make money.
Yeah.
And then they justify all that to the customer, saying that, oh, this is the cost of doing this, and then plus overhead, and then this is how much we charge you. But in reality, they already fucking upcharge the cost, and they get the actual profit too, right?
Mm.
But I don't know if there's a better way though, because it's hard to cookie cut construction and stuff
Yeah, I don't know how.
until you find a way of doing it properly like that. I don't know. Yeah, that's rough, but I'm trying to think if there's any other industries. I mean, like bus drivers. Will there be
I was
ever any
literally
bus
gonna
drivers?
say bus drivers,
Yeah.
taxi
Taxi
drivers,
drivers
Uber
gone.
drivers,
Yeah, they're gone.
Lyft drivers,
Delivery, food delivery.
food delivery, all gonna be gone
Yeah, I think so.
because
It's a matter of time.
self-driving vehicles are here.
Yeah.
You have self-driving taxis, self-driving whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
They're already here.
Yeah.
They just need to roll out more and more and more until they take out the rest of them. You hardly see any taxis, at least in Edmonton anymore. People just go turn to Uber if they really need a ride.
Yeah.
And so for sure, that will be gone.
I wonder what else there'd be. Here's a wild one. Okay, so in farming, you might only need like a couple farmers for a larger plot of land now.
Oh, I can see it.
Because if they had like, and I feel like they are almost one of the few industries that I feel like they keep up with technology actually quite well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, they have like crazy machines that are like always collecting data. Like they're always collecting weather data. They're always collecting like soil data. And then they also have like drones to guard their perimeter too.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, these guys, they don't fuck around. And I think their model of life and mentality is actually kind of cool, because what I've learned from watching some videos is that like farmers, they make money very differently from you and I. As in like they'll make a lot of money in a very short amount of time, but then they'll have to like prep that throughout the whole year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when they make that money, the government will tax them on that, right? So what they do is right before that year ends, like on December, they'll buy all their equipment,
Mm-hmm.
right? So then right when the new year comes, they'll be like, oh, we didn't make any money this year. But in reality, they just upgraded everything.
Yeah.
So then the next year, everything's easier. So like in 2024, they might buy all their seeds or all this other stuff they need in December. So as soon as they start in 2025, they don't have any costs. They're just living off whatever, and then they can plant a full season without anything. And then they'll just keep doing that. Right.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah. But it's cool because it's like, oh, they're actually upgrading their shit to make their lives easier to like produce more yield. Like I feel like it's one of the few that they are continuously innovating.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think it's one of the hardest things too, because it's like they have to adapt a lot, right? Bad weather, whatever's wrong with the season, market demands.
Until eventually you can control the weather.
I mean, that's what the Jews, right? So we can't fuck with that.
Wait, what?
The Jews control the weather.
What?
That's the saying. Jews control. They have a weather machine.
Oh, so
It's just a running joke that the Jews have a weather machine.
it's because like acid rain or some shit.
No, it's just that they
Or
can
a gas machine. It's
it's
a Holocaust thing.
It's just no, it's not a Holocaust thing. It's literally just like Jews and lizard people and all that other shit, and they control the weather and all this stuff.
In Dubai, they actually have a weather machine, right? That can control the rain.
Yeah, it's just you spray droplets. I mean, yeah, once you understand the physics, it's quite simple. You spray droplets to enhance rain.
It falls. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually cool because we learned that in school. We learned about Brownian motion and all that stuff, and you need a minimum particle size to induce rain to occur. So you can like force that by creating pellets that are a certain size that like forces water droplet, because like it hits critical mass, and as soon as it hits critical mass, that one droplet will start attracting more droplets with Brownian motion, and all of a sudden it'll be rain.
Start to rain.
Yeah. So like I feel like once they found that out, okay, that's the crazy thing. The theory of that was probably in the 1800s. but they didn't implement it until like
I think
last
a lot
50
of,
years.
The other thing is that people don't want to play God, or people think there's obviously an ethics question about whether or not you should play God, and controlling the weather is one of them.
It'd be crazy too if they could. It's not even just controlling rain, but if you could control like lightning, not like control, but if you can induce lightning to occur, that's really good.
I'm sure they can too.
That's crazy.
The science behind it makes sense.
I'm not actually too familiar of how to induce it. I mean, it's just the rubbing of the clouds and stuff like that. But how do you like force it to happen? Because the thing is, if you can force it to happen, you want lightning storms near your farm because it creates nitrogen. So you don't have to get artificially made nitrogen, right? It like splits it takes the nitrogen in the air and all that stuff, and it turns it into, or pretty much it turns into a way where the water absorbs nitrogen and it rains down, right? So if you can induce lightning, that would be crazy.
I'm sure there's a way to negatively charge the ions at the top of the clouds.
Without dying, I'm not sure. But yeah, maybe like a balloon machine or something like that, and you just send up there. That'd be cool too, if they could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's next then? Like,
you play God. They're playing with genetics now.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
No, they are already doing it though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's successful.
Yeah, like, yes, like in China.
They've done it to 8 babies recently.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of controversy there, right?
Yeah, because it's just controversial because it's playing God.
Yes, but yes and no. The controversy is like you don't know the
ramifications.
Yeah, because there could be unintended consequences.
That's true.
Right. Well, I mean, but if they're saying that there could be unintended consequences, like fuck them, right? Because you're giving us vaccines that may have unintended consequences that you guys never studied for 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? Like who the fuck? Like maybe the tisms from vaccine.
Maybe.
I mean, that's a theory I'm not against.
You know, somewhere, I think it's Greenland.
Yeah.
There's no autism there.
Like zero.
Oh. You know why?
They don't have vaccines?
If your kid is known to have autism, then they don't let you mate.
Oh, yeah.
And so your genetics don't get spread. And if your kid has autism in the womb, they don't let you produce the baby or bring the baby to birth.
Yeah, I guess autistic people are the most horny.
What?
I mean, so like, why is this not prevalent, but like, it feels like there's more now around here than before.
You know,
or people are just self-diagnosing too.
That's true.
Self-diagnosing with some type of disorder so they can be part of the club.
But I feel like it's not necessarily self-diagnosing. I think it's definitely a spectrum. And I would imagine that with more visibility because of the internet, people are understanding that, oh, some of these traits and these behaviors can look like autism. But yes, I do think a lot of it is self-diagnosed, but I think a lot of it also is a part of the spectrum. It's like, oh, you can be a little bit sick and have an ongoing cough for like 6 months, but you wouldn't tell people you're sick. You're just like, oh, it's had this little scratch in my throat that didn't go away. Yeah.
You're the problem.
Or like a little
you're the problem.
For 7 months. Or you could be somebody that's in the hospital being like, I'm literally coughing my fucking lungs out.
Okay, wait,
There's a spectrum. You could be an autistic person that's sometimes socially awkward in a way that people think, oh, you're just awkward. But to you, you're like, oh, no, but I genuinely don't understand. So maybe that's autism. Or you could be nonverbal and the entire other part of the spectrum.
I don't know, actually. I'm not completely convinced.
Right.
Like,
it wasn't autism, by the way. I was thinking of Down syndrome for Greenland.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's like, I don't think the tism is completely bad. It's just like, I feel like there's different types of tism, right? You know what I mean?
It was Downs.
And you want the good type and you don't want the bad type.
Yes, you want the really smart.
Yes.
Maybe socially awkward. That's not really a factor here. Really smart and verbal.
Yes. But okay, to say it's a spectrum, I don't know, like, I don't know. It's still, I'm not convinced completely. Like, why is that person, okay, if a person is slightly socially awkward and then they think they might have some slight tism, what if they're just socially awkward? Like, maybe they don't have the tism. Like,
I think it's hard to understand unless you're somebody who's a behavioral therapist to understand the difference between somebody who's socially awkward versus somebody who genuinely cannot grasp because they're mentally limited social cues.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we just got to study them way fucking more because
Yeah.
it's like there has to be something where we can say you are
A dunce.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
you have the genetic profile and the brain structure to be considered autism,
Yes.
right? And then I feel like the rest is just fucking bullshit. It's just like, oh no, this guy's just awkward. Like, just leave him be, right? Because I feel like if someone tried really hard, they could not have autism and go to a behavioral therapist and played it out like they did and tricked them enough to say like, oh, this person has autism.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But then if you have something where it's like, oh, we see in your genes or we see in your brain scan
Yes.
that you are confirmed not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what our baseline same is,
Mhm.
right? Then we can now say you have autism. But then, yeah, I don't know. I feel like too many people may have used it for whatever
Oh, I think so.
they want. You know what I
I
mean?
think so too.
Like, I feel like sometimes I'm socially awkward. I don't think I have the fucking autism at all.
I don't think they go hand in hand. I think it's
Yeah.
very different between being able to tell that somebody's socially awkward versus somebody who's maybe they're a socialite, maybe they're an extrovert, maybe
Yeah.
they're somebody that really grasps
Yeah.
everyone's attention in the room.
Yeah.
But because you know them so well
Yeah.
and you've seen them in a lot of scenarios, you're like, dude, there's actually something with social cues that's literally flying over your head every single time, and it seems like you literally cannot grasp it.
Yeah.
Could be something like that.
Well, it's crazy because I always see these people online. They're just like, they just take some online test and they say they have it. I was like, I'm not completely convinced. You know what I mean?
Like, you can kind of fix your answers to get that result too, if you want, because the questions are so obvious. It's like,
yeah,
oh, do I like to? Fuck, I don't know. Do I like numbers a lot? But I find it really awkward when somebody. I don't.
yeah.
Know. But you can tell.
I mean, the other thing too with these online tests is like, I could get drunk and do a test, and all of a sudden I have autism. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? Like, that's not how it should be.
That's true.
Yeah, weird thing. Anyways, how do we get to that? Oh yeah, jobs that we can replace or not. Replacing people's. Wait, so do you think like what Greenland's doing? Do you think that's like cool or not?
I think so.
I think so too. Like, it's sad to say, but it's like, if you're not a functioning member of society, it's kind of like, we prefer not to have you, to be honest.
Yes. Like, I can empathize to a degree, the human part of it and the emotion part of it. That's like, oh, these people didn't choose this way.
Yeah.
They didn't do whatever. Just because they're nonverbal, it doesn't mean that they can't experience happiness and really experience a whole life. That's true. That's completely true.
Yeah.
But then you also have the option at birth, which I am somebody who's pro-abortion. You also have the option at birth to just not bring them into the world.
Well, not at birth, but...
Or, okay, yeah. Before they're born, at an appropriate time when it's appropriate to abort. If you knew, I think that's a reasonable time, probably preferred, to abort that baby. Because,
I think so.
Speaking from personal experience...
You've aborted?
Before I was born, I did not give a shit. I didn't know anything. And, like... I was nothing. I didn't experience anything. I had no opinion, no nothing. So everything on the flip side is just how you feel and your life view about how life should be valued and all that stuff. But if you really cared about the baby itself, the baby genuinely doesn't feel fucking shit. Everyone on planet Earth should be able to say, okay, before I was born, or even before I was 1 or 2, I didn't know anything. When I was in my mom's womb, I didn't fucking remember anything. I didn't experience anything. If you say you remember something, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
And so people who are like, oh no, like, this baby's gonna still be really happy, all that stuff. It's like, if the baby is genetically
Fucked up?
Yeah.
Like 3 arms? Yeah.
Then should you really bring it into the world? You know, especially if, I know you can't really tell at that point, but especially if the baby's going to live a life full of pain or suffering, or they're handicapped in some way, then isn't that kind of cruel?
Yeah.
There's an aspect of that that's cruel. Because you're bringing him to life. Everyone on this planet Earth was forced to be alive when they were born. You didn't have a fucking choice. Your mom was the one that made the choice.
Yeah.
But
No.
imagine if you're born and then you feel pain every day, or you feel discomfort every day, or you feel like you don't like the fact that you don't have certain types of freedom. You
Like-
literally didn't need to feel any of that.
Like black people.
Okay.
I mean, that's
You
what
know what I
people
mean?
that's what people would argue is like, oh, well, what's that? What's the difference between that and racism? But I'm not disagreeing
No.
with you. I do think like, yeah, if you see something fucked up like that, you should maybe press the plan B button.
I agree. And then also, I'm somebody who wants to see human evolution
Yeah.
progress in a productive and reasonable way.
Yeah.
In this way, it's almost like you're looking at a goal,
Yeah.
which is human evolution.
Yeah.
Amazing human evolution. You're looking at that goal and you're adding too much emotion into it, and you're not being objective enough.
Yeah. No, I think so too. Like back in the day, like I think the Mongols cared. Like if you're down, they kill you right away.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like that's how they called the weak of their
Yeah.
population and grow the strong, right?
Yeah.
And then we don't necessarily have to do that in our lifetime like that, but it would be similar, as in like we want to call the weakness of our genetics.
What it is.
Yeah,
It's
because
literally what it is.
yeah, like it is a weakness in our genetics that we should call out of it.
Yes.
And then if you can do that, then we just become better people,
Yes.
stronger, smarter possibly,
Yes.
but more importantly, less of a burden to society too.
Yes.
Right? As in like, taking up public service dollars and healthcare dollars and all this other stuff. They do all add up, even though I know it's just like, individually just one person at a time, but still.
Mhm.
So no, I do agree with that in terms of like generating the best humans. I mean, I know a lot of people, or not a lot, like some people that have family members like that are Downs probably won't agree, but still it's like if you were their family member and you actually had a choice if they had Downs or not, you would always say they don't, right?
Yes.
I'm almost certain they would
100%.
say yeah, right? So then it's like
They wouldn't be like, you know what? I'd rather them be like this exactly.
yeah,
Whenever I see them struggle,
that's cruel.
I would rather them stay this way.
Yeah, that's really cruel.
That's completely cruel.
I also
Even
think,
if you're like, this is who they are, this is what makes them them. Like, yeah, to a degree. But then if you could take it away and give them the right, not right, Jesus Christ, give them the ability to speak, or give them the ability to move their limbs in a normal way and have that accessibility,
yeah,
you would.
yeah,
You should.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think it should be done that way, in my opinion. It's just, I think also people are too, like they don't have enough problems in their life. You know what I mean? Like when your life's might be too easy, you start finding problems to make problems. You know what I mean? Like
More money, more problems.
like when your life's too easy, you start complaining about like dumb shit,
yeah.
right? Whereas
You're
like,
oh my god, fucking Gucci didn't have the hot pink bag that I
Yeah.
was looking at last week. They only had the magenta one.
because sometimes I feel like people are fighting for other people's rights when they don't even want them to fight for their rights. It's like part of me thinks, how some people here are like protesting, like the LGBTQ community. They're like, support, the gays in Palestine and shit. I'm like, dude, they don't give a fuck about that stuff right now. They just want to live. Like they don't give a shit about
the gays are like,
any
I
of-
haven't come out yet.
like they don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. Like sometimes I wish there was a video where it's like these LGBTQ people are like supporting the gays in Palestine and stuff like that, right? And be like, yo, just take one of them and take a person from Palestine and like get them together, make a YouTube video, be like, do you care what this person's doing for you? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure the Palestinian would be like, no, I just want my family to live. Like
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about any of these things. We just want to live.
Yeah.
But that's because like we have different problems, right? Like when your problem is survival and and in America your problem is just like being popular or some bullshit, you're like your actions and your tendencies are a lot different too, right? And
Mhm.
your like purpose is a lot different.
What's your opinion on pronouns?
I'm pretty I don't give a fuck about them, to be honest.
What's your opinion on people that give a fuck about pronouns?
I think they're pretty dumb, in
I
my
agree.
opinion. It's just like, okay, if you care so much, then fucking put a name tag on you. Then you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we don't even need to use pronoun. We'll just use your actual name, right?
Even fucking that. Why do you care about what a stranger calls you? Why are you so focused on external validation and somebody recognizing you externally that you don't fucking know?
Yeah.
If somebody on the street came up to me and was like, "You look like a man," I'd be like, "Fuck, okay, sick." I don't care. I don't know you.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know. I think people are so okay. This has always been my opinion. You can say where the fuck you want. As long as you don't like hurt me, I can't do anything about what the fuck you say.
Yeah.
So it's like, why the fuck do you care? Like, that person's not doing anything illegal. They might be like emotionally hurting you, but like go fuck yourself. Like, I don't like, no one cares. Like, okay, if you're gonna be so easily emotionally hurt, then you definitely don't belong in this crowd, right?
Yeah.
Then go to a different crowd. Like, you have the freedom of movement. You can go wherever you want. And that person has freedom of speech. They can say whatever the fuck they want. So like, respect their rights to say whatever the fuck they want to say to you, right?
Yeah.
As long as they don't like threaten you, that's fine, right? They can call you whatever the fuck names they want. They're not threatening you, right?
Especially people who get really upset and when they get their pronouns said wrong.
Yeah.
And they correct the person's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll call you that from now on." They're like, "Oh my god, but I'm still so offended that you call me whatever." Why the fuck?
Yeah.
Literally, why?
Wait, have you experienced this? I haven't experienced this.
Well, no, because I think I have normal pronouns.
No, like, have you experienced someone like complaining about their pronouns around you?
I just see these things online.
Oh, yeah, I haven't really ever experienced that. Like, have not experienced anyone give a shit about their pronouns.
Yeah.
Like, around my life.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't bother me that much. But yeah, it does like make me angry when people do care so much about it online. It's just like, it's kind of dumb.
Don't you have other things to like worry about?
I mean, I feel like I'm surprised no one's like even said this yet. It was like, yo, if you care so much about pronouns, just tell the person your name and they'll just call you by your name now. Just like, doesn't that solve all the problems?
But then, I guess so.
Right? That solves the entire problem, right? Like, what's your identity? And then I'm now grouping your identity based on something I assume of you, and you don't want me to. Then okay, just tell me your identity, essentially your name, and I'll just call you by that.
Yeah.
Like, that solved all the problems, doesn't it? It's like, just fucking tell me your name. Unless your name is unpronounceable, like, it is what it is, right?
And fuck your name. I don't want to know you anyway.
Yeah, right? Like, if you have some hard ass name to pronounce, I'm like, I'm
your
sorry.
Your name's Bob now.
I'm sorry, sir, ma'am. I can't do it. I'm
sorry, he, she.
Yeah. Like, I literally cannot pronounce your name. It's not even a you problem. I can't do it. I just don't know how to articulate that in my mouth, right?
I don't even want to know your name anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, people who are... But that's the thing, too. Like, I'm curious of how much media is kind of just blowing it up, too. Like, I'm sure it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
But... is it happening in my life? No.
It's not in mine either.
So, like, you know, it goes back to the question I asked you before. It's like, you know how there's some stats where it's like 50% of people in the States divorce? I'd be like, I got 10 friends like married, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. 5 of them haven't divorced yet. I mean, almost none of them have divorced. So it's like, I don't know, like, is that stat, how accurate that stats is, or how
that's true.
Like, how inaccurate is it based on their generalization, right? So it's like, for example, if every single couple in New York divorced and no other couple in America divorced, easily, like, okay, 10% of all married people divorce. Yes. And you're like, oh shit. But then it's 100% in New York and 0% everywhere else, right? So then, I don't know, sometimes I look at those numbers, I'm just like, fuck, it just feels wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because, especially that divorce one, because I look at my personal life, I was like, dude, I don't know. I know one person in my life that's divorced, and I have many, I have more than 10 friends, right? So it's like, that's less than 10% of the people I know. Probably less than 5% of the people I know.
Yeah.
So it just surprised me. But at the same time, maybe I'm not old enough for that stat to be true. Like,
maybe it's an age thing. Your friends are just getting married.
Yeah. So maybe like when you're 50, that stat's true. But when you're in your like 20s or 30s, that stat's probably not true.
That is true.
Or it could also be like a racial thing. Like, what if in black communities it's legit, where it's like,
no, they just go get milk. What do you mean get a divorce?
That's true. That's way too much paperwork. Yeah, but yeah, sometimes I read some of these things and stuff. I was like, man, does this even fucking apply to my life? Because I know like people get outraged at this stuff, but I think I can't fix Canada. I can't fix Alberta. I can't fix Calgary. I can't even fix Edmonton, but maybe I can fix something in my community. Right? Like in my own, like where I live in, you know, north side of Edmonton in this one community, right? Say like Castle Downs. I don't live in Castle Downs, but I'm just gonna say like, for example, Castle Downs. If I live there, I'd be like, maybe I can fix something here.
Yeah.
But I can't fix Edmonton. I can't fix Calgary. I can't fix Alberta. I can't fix Canada, right?
You can.
But if everyone had the exact same mentality of like, but I can fix my own community, then it would be like all of us would be fixing something properly, right? Instead of instead of like someone like living in like Northside Edmonton and being like, oh, I'm gonna try to fix this LGBTQ problem. I'm like, what's the problem? You know what I mean? Like what's the problem? Like the problem isn't here.
What's the problem, him?
Yeah. Like the problem you're trying to fix isn't even here. The problem you're trying to fix might be in like Toronto or like in some other metropolitan area, right? But like there's no problem here. So it's like I feel like people are trying to fix problems that aren't actually problems where they physically are. You know what I mean? They're like, it's like, for example,
somebody in China being like, believe in Jesus. And people are like, what?
Or like just imagine someone in like, just another stereotype. Like someone in St. Albert would be like, I'm going to try to fix the poverty problem. I'm like, I don't know, man. Where you live, that's not really a problem. Like that's not the problem you should focus on where you live, right? You know what I mean? It's like, that's not the core issue of where you live.
Fucking Hollywood being like, we got a water problem.
Yeah. Like things like that. Like, well, not that, but like Hollywood saying like, oh, we got to fix this problem. We got to like shine a light on this problem. Be like, I mean, that's a problem that you see on the news from across the country. It doesn't seem like it's a problem where you are, right? So it's like, I don't know, like, is there a problem like for that? Like people who live in like, what's the famous place in Hollywood? Like like the rich place, like Santa Monica or like, I don't know, like one of the famous communities in Hollywood's like, that's clearly like poverty is clearly not your problem because you have a Whole Foods that sell like fucking strawberries for $20.
Fucking Erewhon.
Right? So it's like, I don't know. I feel like people can try to fix the stuff closer to them, then it makes sense because it's like if you look at it as such a grand level, unless you're the fucking president or some like super high level public servant, then it's like you can't really affect that much change.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are you stressing out your brain cells for things that doesn't happen to you and you can't do anything about? Right. So it's like me stressing about fixing my car that I don't own yet.
Yes.
Right. It's like, okay, first of all, I don't even own it yet. And second of all, I don't even know if there's a problem, but
worrying about the gas in your electric car.
Yeah. So it's just, that's what I think of is the internet sometimes. So when I look at it, I like have to look at it with a grain of salt because when I see stuff about like racial issues and stuff, I was like, I don't know, like the place I grew up, there's not that big of a racial issues. And if I try to project that thought into like where I live, it's just gonna cause problem because it's not actually happening.
But maybe it's also not happening to you for that one.
That's true. It could be that specifically. But at the same time, that's like a fight. I feel like, is it like, should we be fighting it? It's like, if it's not happening to you, for example.
Yeah, if it's not happening to you, you're not qualified to fight for it.
Yeah, it's like, dude, like, shut up. You know what I mean? You're like, it's not your problem. You're not involved with this. Like,
and you don't understand it. I think understanding is a big one. Because imagine if it's happening to your friends or somebody really close to you, then you can still stand up.
Yeah.
But if it's not happening to you, you don't have any friends that it's happening to, then you also don't understand.
Yeah. Then at that point, it's like literally like, just shut up about it, right? Like you don't know about it enough. It's not involving you. It's not affecting you. Like we don't need more of you talking about it. We need more of the realist and the people who's actually experiencing talking about it.
Yeah, you just know I don't like it, but it's like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? Your argument isn't sound. You have nothing else, but I don't like it.
And it goes back to my like philosophy and mentality where it's like you can't help someone who's not willing to help themselves, right? So if there's a group of people being subjugated and they're not willing to help themselves, it shouldn't be in my right to force help down their throat. Right? It shouldn't be my right to like force all this stuff on them. Now, if they asked for help, that's a different story, right?
Yeah.
But if they don't ask for help, and like again, like I said, the LGBTQ and the Palestinians, it's like I'm sure they're not asking you for their help. They're asking for other type of help.
They want fucking food,
like food and water,
safety.
and no more bullets.
They don't want your fucking red and purple flag or whatever the colors.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone's ticked up with that stuff. I mean, it also comes like for me, what locally I can talk about and think about is like the affordability issue, right? Because I feel like that kind of
Oh,
hits me.
yeah.
But that being said, I have thought about it a bit more, and I have looked at some stats. Did you know like Edmonton is actually, relatively speaking, compared to median income, way more affordable than most places? Like
Yes.
within North America, it's actually a very
I'm quite aware.
affordable city in terms of real estate.
I'm quite aware. That's pretty insane.
Yeah, right. Because I'm like, fuck, if I feel like I could struggle now here, imagine me in Toronto. I'd be like, don't you just give up at that point? No, like literally, it's like if
Well,
so.
yeah, eventually.
So the stats I checked up is like, I forget the exact fancy name for it, but it's pretty much price of house to income ratio.
Yes.
Right. So they take median house, median income, just ratio it, right? If you're below a certain number, it's good. If you're too high of a number, it's not good, right? So I think like in terms of affordability, if you want to consider your city as affordable, I think the number has to be less than 3, right? So that means it's like your house costs less than 3 years worth of gross pay.
Yes.
Nowhere in North America is it below 3.
Oh, yeah. No
Right.
fucking where.
But I think Edmonton's like 4, like around 4-ish,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Yeah,
like, okay,
condo
that's not
at
too
your
bad. Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah. But then in places like Vancouver and Toronto, it's like 15.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you even imagine a future? It's like, for me
don't.
to buy a place here, I have to work not 15 years because that's gross pay.
Mhm.
I have to work 30 years, and all of my 30 years net pay goes into my house in order for me to afford a house.
Yes.
I was like,
literally nothing else.
that's insane. I was like, how do people even like imagine living there?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like if I was there, I'd be like, guess I'm living at home forever. Like
Yeah,
no
you're
other
just
fucking
renting
choice.
forever.
Yeah. Like that struggle is crazy. Like I thought in my opinion with like house and food prices and things of stuff just costing more now. Like when you go out to eat dinner now, it's like 1.5x than it was 5 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
Right? It's like going out to get a burger. I remember pre-COVID, it was like, oh, you go to like Boston Pizza, you get a burger. It's like $12 with fries and then
No,
plus
it's 20.
tips. Yeah, now it's like
At least
minimum
25.
20. Yeah, I was just like, I was struggling with that concept. And then imagine if I lived in Toronto, I'd be like, there's no way.
I saw a freaking post today about a matcha
Yeah,
from a cafe in Edmonton that costs $17.
Jesus. And you know what's crazy? In LA, it would have cost $17.
I know. No, it would
That's-
cost just 20. I swear.
That's crazy. Hey, like $20. That's literally like just shy of $30 here. Right? It's like $26 here.
Insane for a cup.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, even in Edmonton, like I thought I was complaining about it, but then now I think about it, I was like, holy shit! Like people in like fucking Toronto must have it fucking rough, or Vancouver must have it rough too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a overall issue, probably.
Yeah, the world's gonna pop soon.
It's insane. Like right now, considering the amount I eat because I'm a fat fuck, I was like looking at it, I was like, dude, there's no way I can eat at like a normal restaurant and be full. Like I might as well just go to like Yang Ming buffet or some like shitty ass buffet if I want to just feel the fullness, right? Because like I can't justify an entree, 2 entrees and an appetizer with like me and my girlfriend, and that's gonna like run me at least $100 now or something, or like 80 some bucks now.
100%.
Whereas back then it was like, oh, you could go grab a meal with your significant other for like $60,
Mm-hmm.
and it'd be like, that's a pretty decent meal, right? You know, $20 each for an entree, and then like a decent appetizer, and then tips and tax.
Yeah.
Now it's like no way you can find a decent entree for under $20.
Now it's solid 100.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
The breaking point for me was when I realized how much pho was and how much they give you now.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's like all my life I always thought of pho as like a good, cheap, fast meal, and now it's like what is like $17, $18 now.
Yeah.
And they
And
give
you
you
can
like,
tell they give you less noodles too.
yeah, I was like, that's
I'm like, okay, I
crazy.
understand if you need to cut back a little bit because, you know, you got to make it make sense for your business too with rising costs. But for a client who doesn't, not client, a customer to be able to notice how many noodles you
Yeah.
took out and they didn't even know how much was put in
Yeah.
before, that has to be a lot.
Yeah. Back then you'd be like, oh, this bowl will fill me up.
Yeah, or you'd be
Right.
like, maybe this one's a little smaller. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But now it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Now it's like,
It's this size?
I need 2 of these now.
Yeah.
for a normal person.
Yeah.
Whereas back then you're like, oh, one bowl of pho, $12. I'll be full. I'll be good for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be good until, dinner, maybe even past dinner sometimes. And now it's like $18 for like, so that means their price went up 1.5 times and they give you less food. I was like,
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy. That was the last straw for me. When that happened, I was like, no way. There's no cheap meals anymore.
Yeah.
Like the only cheap meal is Costco. That's literally the only cheap meal left. Right?
$8 chicken. When that goes up, uproar.
Dude,
When that goes up,
crazy.
fucking tyranny.
But that being said, Costco has run through like recessions before, and they still actually I don't know how long Costco's been around.
I know.
Costco. Okay, wait. When did Costco hot dog start? Yeah, it's okay. We have five minutes, or less than 5 minutes. It started in 1984. It went through the 2008 recession, the .com recession, all that stuff. So it did go through some shit, and it's always been $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's the only thing I can justify now. Other than that, I'm just making food all the time now.
Oh yeah, you also get way more protein at home, anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
I forget about Edo out the other day.
Yeah. How much was it?
And it was like $15. And they gave me such little meat.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I took it to go and they literally like spread it thin so like it could cover the top part, but there's no depth to the layer of meat. Yeah. And I was like,
that's crazy.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Okay.
This is at least 30% less protein than average.
Yeah. Okay, maybe last story before you go. So I remember in high school, my friend went to Edo. He got the sumo size yaki udon, whatever meal. Double beef, double chicken, add 6 shrimp twice. Like he got one of those like double sized boxes and it was like overflowing with food.
Yeah.
And that was $22. And now like your meal was $15.
Fucking space. In the box.
It's crazy. Insane. Oh, it's also the half size box. Yeah, that was like the double size box. Yes. And it was like literally when he opened it, it was like a mountain of food. You know what I mean? Because he did pay extra, right?
Yeah.
And he got like, double chicken, double beef, double everything, right? And now it's like, dude, $15. Because back then I was thinking about it. I was like, dude, you know what? Honestly, if I ordered that, like me and my date could probably get full from 20 some bucks. Yeah. That's not that bad.
Right? Impossible now if you buy food outside.
I can't even imagine like if I were to go back to school now, like in high school, I don't even want to think about how much stuff costs.
Just
for, like,
dirty
food.
bulk the whole time.
Dude, like back then I thought food was already like I always brought food when I was in high school. Dude, can you imagine now kids trying to buy food at while they're in high school? That's crazy.
Can you imagine Ho-Ho's? I don't think Ho-Ho's probably fills up their platters the same way anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I remember back then like minimum wage was like $10, but $10 can like feed you like 1.5 meal.
Yeah.
But now, no way. Now minimum wage, I don't know what it is. It's like $15 now? Dude, that's fucking half a lunch.
I have no idea.
All right, anyways, we're going to go now. We just ranted about random shit, AI. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Thanks for listening, guys.
All right, bye.